Dr. Kahl's robot is arguably one of the hardest bosses to S-rank in Cuphead, and for good reason too. His first phase is hectic as hell, his second phase is short but very awkward and tedious, and his last phase is a literal bullet hell with the longest phase in all of Cuphead! Luckily, there are some tips and tricks to help greatly alleviate most of the struggles with this boss, but before we get into this fight, we need to set up our loadout correctly to make this as effortless as possible. The one item that greatly helps with this fight is by far Divine Relic. All you need to know is that it gives you the charm abilities of Heart Ring, Smoke Bomb, Coffee, and Whetstone, but it switches your weapon every time you stop and start shooting. Since you only use the plain pea shooter or plain bombs as your weapons for plain levels, you can simply just stop and start shooting once to switch weapons, making this much easier to manage. If you don't have the DLC, the best charms you can use here are Coffee or Smoke Bomb. Coffee allows you to get super faster for mainly the last phase, and Smoke Bomb serves to help you dodge obstacles much easier. If you do have the DLC though, Divine Relic will save you a lot of trouble. With all of that, let's get into the fight.
This match will get red hot. You're up!
The first thing you want to do as the fight starts is dash up towards the top and shoot your pea shooter shot towards his laser antenna. Don't mind if a couple of your shots aren't hitting, just keep shooting and you will destroy the antenna before it hits you. While you are doing this, you'll see that these drones that come from his abdomen are making their way towards you, and once you destroy the antenna, the pink cylinder that comes from his chest should be out. Luckily, by the time you destroy the antenna, there should be a clear opening in which you can easily maneuver through all the drones and parry the pink cylinder. And once you do so, maneuver towards the bottom left side of the screen. Start shooting your pea shooter towards his abdomen, and you really should only have to worry about the pink cylinder and might need to move slightly for the bolts to not hit you. You should destroy his abdomen in no time, in which you should continue shooting until you destroy the homing bomb that comes out from the abdomen as well. Make sure to parry the pink cylinder between destroying his abdomen and the homing bomb coming out, or whenever you have a comfortable opening. Now after this, focus all your shots towards the chest, and to be safe, don't get too close to his chest for too long, and stay around the middle left side of the screen in order to dodge the bolts correctly. Every now and then, make it a priority to move downwards to destroy the homing bomb before it gets too close, and also to parry the pink cylinder whenever you can. Note the cylinder does block your shots towards the chest, but if you're on the lower side of the cylinder, you'll still be able to get some damage in, so I would advise not getting too worried about this. Just maneuver around the cylinder whenever you can and focus your shots towards the chest. Now once you destroy his chest, you're in the final stretch of this boss fight and need to continue shooting the heart that comes out of his chest. At this point, you should be pretty close to your super, so make sure to keep your super for the next phase. You essentially continue what you were doing before, but this time there are two different attacks you must be careful of. The easier out of the two is definitely the magnet. He simply brings out a magnet that brings you towards it. Just resist the movement and make it a priority to destroy the homing bombs, since the magnet makes it a bit harder to do. Just keep shooting at his chest, dodging the bolts, and he should be to his next phase very shortly. Now, the next attack is a bit more complicated, but simply playing it safe is the best course of action. To put simply, the robot sends his arms through the middle of the screen and then retracts the arms slowly, shooting small projectiles from the sides of his arms during this. Dodging his arm during the first part is quite easy, just move slightly down from the middle so you dodge the arms, but also deal some damage to the heart. Now when he's retracting his arms, I recommend backing up until he shoots his first projectile, then dashing forward into an open space. A homing bomb will probably show up, so make sure to destroy it ASAP. After you dodge the attack and the arm retracts fully, that should be around the end of the phase. I know this was a lot of information, but this sequence is definitely the best and most efficient way you can get past to this phase. Luckily, the next phase can essentially be skipped if you kept your super. When the robot is about to enter its second phase and shoot its head, go up top and start shooting it. It'll launch its head, and right before it makes contact with you, use your super. With the damage you did before and the super damage, the phase is either over or almost over. Proceed to the bottom of the screen with your iframes and shoot the flying head until it moves on to the last phase. Of course, shoot the homing bombs whenever you can and you'll be on to the last phase with no trouble. Now at this point of the boss fight, you should be either below or at the first minute mark of the boss fight, which means you have at least one whole minute to get past this last phase, which is more than enough time. So, when you enter the last phase, I think it's personally best to not even pay attention to where or what you're shooting, and simply focus all of your attention on dodging everything you can. Like I mentioned before, you are not in a time crunch, and preserving your health is way more vital to S-ranking this boss than anything else. Anyways, going into your mini plane form while using Divine Relic or Smoke Bomb is very useful here to dodge and minimize your chances of getting hit. I wouldn't however stay in the mini form too long, as you still need to do some damage to Dr. Kahl, so I'd recommend only quickly holding and letting go of the dash button to dodge incoming obstacles. Now at this point, it's really all up to you to put your skills to the test and outlast this last phase. One more thing is that you should try to get as many parries as you can here for health from Heart Ring or Divine Relic, and also for your super. Once you get your super, wait till he stops shooting crystals and go in with your super. After you super him about twice, that's pretty much the end of the boss fight, so your super here kind of acts as a gauge for you to determine how close you are to beating him. Well, this is the easiest way to S-rank Dr. Kahl's robot. I hope this video was of some help to you, and I would appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and shared this video to support the channel. Are there any other tips or tricks for this fight? Leave your comments down below and I'll surely read them. Also, if there was anything I could have done better, visually or verbally, make sure to let me know down below. With all of that, best of luck with your S ranks.